Okay, hello and welcome back to the WTCCC Christmas calendar. It is day 3, and we are playing e4, of course. We are so far 1 loss, 1 win, and okay, sorry, let me just correct that real quick. 1 loss, 2 wins because my opponent dares play a Caro-Kann against me. Come on now. Come on now. We go for our advanced variation repertoire here. This Botvinnik Karl setup, we are going to take and then go for a rather freaky little move, played, I believe, in this position 7% of the time, with the highest win rate across the Lichess database, and that is a3. We're going to look to effectively say, instead of playing one of the more common moves, like an f4 or a knight f3 or a bishop f4 or a bishop b5 even, all of which would prevent my opponent taking immediately on e5, we're going to say no. You know what, you've split up these pawns, and instead of choosing to hold on to that central one, I'm going to choose to hold on to this one on c5. I'm going to make your bishop's life a living hell. You have absolutely no prospects unless actually you play, I think, a very mature plan, which is g6, bishop g7 here. Although obviously after g6, bishop to b2, bishop g7, there's some tension going on down this diagonal. I think that's the best way for black to play, but here we see the move e6. Okay. Now, they don't get the bishop out, so we're not really looking for any ideas of bishop b5 check particularly soon. What I can do, though, is fianchetto this bishop, and I was looking at this the other day. We can just get a great fianchetto bishop. We can, develop a knight. We can start to own some of these central squares here. My opponent is, of course, going to develop almost certainly, a bishop e7, and then a kingside castles will follow bishop d3. We are going to align our bishops in these beautiful sniping diagonals here towards where my opponent is clearly going to be castled. And effectively, we've got even material. We've got this weird sort of structure going on here, which, stops ideas like queen b6, bishop d6, etc. In many endgames, we can create a passed pawn quite easily over here. My apologies, I just had to take a brief call, which reminds me I've used 2 minutes for literally no reason because this is borderline prep. Right, we're castling kingside. Not something which I often like to do. I like to castle queenside, but let's be honest, I probably shouldn't be castling queenside here. Rook to e1, knight to c3, knight to d2. These all seem like logical improving moves. I don't know. I think I might start with the rook e1 maybe, and just really dominate that e5 square. They do go for b6. Okay, they're trying to get some life for this bishop, but also break at what I've got going on here. That definitely makes sense, and I should not let them take, of course. I think most likely I'm going to be doing this. I might be looking for a c4 break at some point. Also, though, hold on. Do I not have maybe b5 to then follow up with just the ultimate condemnation of this bishop to the most claustrophobic position of all time with b5? And then, do you know what, I just have to go for this. I just have to go for this. b5, I'm going to hit the knight. You cannot come in anywhere vaguely forward or centralizing. You can, of course, situate yourself on the edge of the board as so, but I mean, I'm going to step past. We've got a passed pawn here. And right now this bishop absolutely sucks, and when you make this break, I can play a4. My bishop holds the rook. There's no real worry about any shenanigans with takes, and then there being some kind of, pin on the pawn here. Even if the knight's here immediately, we just still don't have to worry about it because my bishop holds. So a4 it is. And we're going to get a pawn chain buried deep, I tell you, in enemy territory. And if you can't push your e-pawn, which I intend to make it very hard for you to push your e-pawn by slapping a knight on e5 very soon, then how is this bishop ever moving, is my question. We might be about to play some kind of positional masterclass. Knight in here makes sense, I guess. I'm probably going to have to give up this bishop. I don't have to give up the bishop. I could move my bishop on b2, but that bishop's a beautiful piece. I don't want to move it too far. Takes also does render this pawn terrible. I could go takes, and then takes, and knight to e5. Or actually, I don't need to trade the queens voluntarily, but I think I'm a massive fan of trying to just kill this bishop forever. And that being the motif of the game, that being the sort of overarching plan. And bang, knight e5. Like, how can that be a bad idea? Obviously, I lose quite a beautiful bishop, but you do have a lot of light squared pawns, and this seems like a great opportunity. The alternative is moving this bishop, because I do not want to lose it. Here, maybe it could make some sense. I think I like this. I think I like saying, look, I've got light squared pawns, you got some light squared pawns, and so the light squared bishop is not going to be looking too good, especially for you. But for me, it was probably had some prospects with attack on the king side, but I'm focusing on this part of the board right now, and I want to keep this bishop and not lose any initiative. So knight e5 clearly makes some sense. Blockading this, not letting you push, because honestly, if I'm my opponent, I'd want to sack this pawn just to be able to breathe with this bishop, and I don't want to let them do that. So I'm going to go for knight e5. We're going to not outpost, I guess, the piece, because this isn't a hole. I mean, at some point they could play f6, but it's going to be quite a torturous process to move this knight, then play f6, then mess up you know, the structural integrity around this king slightly, and all the while, I might be nabbing this. We are, of course, going to recapture as so, taking back with the bishop should we need to, and tell me what you're doing with this. Tell me what you're doing with this bishop. Because if you're just playing down a piece right now, I'm feeling good about that. I'm feeling absolutely excellent about that. This bishop is still strong. I mean, do you want to trade queens? I feel like you probably don't. At least not on, you know, not giving me the rook that then comes to the d file and dominates here. I'm going to win this pawn. I might not even take it with this knight, even if I can. I might choose to go knight d2 and try and do this. Interesting. They're going after this. I do have knight c3, so I can defend this and attack the queen. It kind of seems like a bit of a no-brainer to go with knight c3, but I also have the opportunity to take, but then takes, and you can breathe with this bishop, which, I mean, again, I'm sure it's not the end of the world, but why on earth would I not start with knight c3 here? Defend this, attack this. Possibly I've just said goodbye to an easy opportunity for a queen trade in a better endgame, but I think I can get that on better terms. I want to keep this here, I think. Okay. Now the rook's coming in. Maybe I should have traded the queens. That feels like I could have made a mistake there. It'd be nice to be able to play like a queen d4 and get this out of here. Because if I can make you take with the pawn at any point, obviously you've got the bishop, but then I've got two connected passes. So maybe I just go queen b1. Prophylactically hold this to prepare knight to a4. That looks a little outrageous. You know what? Hello? Am I just going to end up regretting something with pressure on here? I don't think you can get in there immediately. Queen b1. We're going to hold this. I think I'm holding stuff, you know? Stuff seems to be all very held. I don't have any loose pieces, and I don't have any loose pawns particularly. I think everything is very secure within my position. It does feel a little brittle, though, because, of course, you know, I start moving stuff and pieces might be overworked in this context. This bishop also not wildly flexible right now. Obviously, it's on a great diagonal, but doesn't really have a dream of coming out this way, for instance. They do play rook d8, so our prophylactic dodge of the tempo that are garnered there probably makes a lot of sense. Knight a4. You don't have any of these moves. I don't know why I wouldn't go knight a4 here. How do you hold onto your b pawn? I'm going knight a4. We hold this. If you, I guess maybe you have this, but I don't see particularly what it does. I'm actually maybe even more secure now in terms of this blockade here on e5, which again, if you want to move the knight somewhere and then play f6, be my guest, but at least immediately you've got to address the fact your queen's hanging, and I don't see how you defend this other than staying on this diagonal, but I control this diagonal. I massively control this diagonal. I don't see where your queen goes here, and it seems like not only might I be winning this b pawn, but then from there, I might be bouncing back and taking this and then getting some crazy symbiotic knight structure where they hold each other here and then we really secure this. I mean, this looks like it's... We've secured this. This bishop has literally had no moves for ages. Your queen's hanging. What are you going to do with it? How many moves do you even have? You don't want a queen trade. Excuse me. Maybe you do. Here... Hold on. 1 second. Takes. If I then take this, I do lose a rook, unfortunately. But I can go takes, and then rook b1, but then you go bishop c5. But then I can take and pick this up. I mean, I really do feel as though I have to be significantly better here. I also have c3, don't I? Although I kind of kill this bishop, right? I don't know why I'd want to do that. c3... I mean, it does make some sense, but I'd have to play c4 at some point. Do you have this if rook b1? Maybe. That starts to look annoying. Right, I'm playing c3. Obviously, I kill the bishop temporarily, but I'm going to win this pawn. You know, you're not stopping me from winning this pawn. If you go bishop here, I'm simply going to remove it. Pawn takes. I'm going to have two connected passes. I didn't even think about that, but surely I don't care. Surely I don't remotely care, and I'm picking this up, and now I'm up a pawn. But also, what the hell's this doing? What the hell's this doing? And what the hell is this doing? I do remove my blockade here, so maybe... I don't know, maybe... Yeah, look, they sack the pawn to bring the bishop out, which I can just take immediately, and then they're going to have some life with the bishop. I think I'd rather... I don't know, grab this? Because then the bishop's hanging, so it does come with tempo to take this. Hold on. I think this is going to be weak long term. Let's grab this. Okay, 2 pawns, and they're connected, and they're passed. In fact, we've got 3 connected pass pawns, but I don't know, technically, if you can deem this 3 connected pass pawns with the doubled C pawns. Obviously, this is not an A pawn here. Now, obviously, we grab this. I'm up 2 clean pawns right now. You do get to move your bishop, but c4, this is going to be a problem. I just need to make sure I don't get back rank mated, and I should be absolutely fine here. Actually, excuse me, do I not immediately have this? Probably, right? I should probably start with this, or here, and then, what, you just move your rook, or... Oh, this could be premature, but also, where are you going along this back rank? And if you don't stay on the back rank, there might be this, and... That looks pretty strong. That looks pretty strong to me. Maybe we just promote one immediately. Now I have a bishop and a pawn. This pawn's still running. My back rank is absolutely fine. And yeah, I think a minute 23. Oh my lord, I've had a cup of tea here this whole time. It's been going cold. What a travesty that is. Okay, I could blunder mate. That is an option. That is for sure an option. What if I go like... What if I just do this? What if I just start by pushing the pawn? Can I not? I mean, you can't play rook b2 immediately. You can't get back here with the rook. You've just impeded that path with your knight. So, I mean, sometimes it... Okay, what the hell's going on here? Are you trying to get stalemated? I don't know. I feel as though resignation is on the cards. What did I tell you? 1 loss, 2 wins. Let's slap that into an analysis board. I don't know if that was some genius positional chess. I don't know what's happened with Will Taylor chess, but he seems to be entering his Magnus phase of life where... Okay, I mean, this is 96% accuracy. This might be some kind of immortal game. At no point... I mean, the one in accuracy was... What was this move here? Rook e1. That makes sense. I bet it just wanted like a knight d2 or a knight c3 or something else developing, I guess. But apart from that, what you guys can't see right now, in fact you can, 3 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes, 0 blunders from my opponent. They played 90% accurately. This was just an unbelievable positional dominance. I don't know if we can get better than this. I'll be completely honest. Let's open the database. Let's shift my face cam up and then let's go right to the start of this game. I don't think this is going to require much analysis because of course, d takes c5 is a move that is relatively common in the Lichess database, 18% of the time, but at the master database, it's the top move. The best way to play against this, apparently, as per the masters, is to take and then knight c6, and you see here 7% of the time, as I said, but 52% win rate, where everything else seems to have a 50 or lower percent win rate, is this a3 here, and at the master database level, again, 7% of the time, 58% win rate at the master level, with some draws and some, I guess there's not much data there, it's about 100 games. I should mention this a3 resource is far more common against, yeah, it's the best move, or the most common move, excuse me, at master level against e6 here. Still though, a3 here makes a lot of sense. Knight takes e5, we'll go back to the Lichess database here, and you can see we go for b4. The win rates are looking good. Objectively, we're looking good, of course. I mean, objectively, we're looking good literally throughout this entire thing. This was actually kind of close to perfect chess. They go for e6, bishop b2, naturally, the knight goes back, knight f3, we're going to develop super naturally, or not super naturally, it's not Halloween anymore, of course, but it is, in fact, Christmas time, so like, comment, subscribe, and join the Patreon, links in the description. But then, yeah, bishop d3. I mean, I'm looking at most popular moves. I wonder, okay, it likes an early c4 break here, and if you take, then apparently a takes, and then picking this up, or knight e5. Yeah, okay, sure. Bishop d3, though, still an excellent move, although a5, I do need to look into this, because of course a5 is a very natural looking move against this, and if I start pushing past, once the knight moves, this is actually quite soft. Yeah, I can hold on to it with bishop d4, but I don't get that natural push past, as we saw when instead, I mean, yeah, literally just wanted knight d2 for a plus 0.7, 0.8 advantage rather than a plus point. It's just developing. Maybe I could have gone for something quicker. I guess if knight here, maybe if a5, we were going to angle for, okay, queen b1. Maybe I'll look into this further, but here we get this opportunity to play b5 and then push past with c6, which, as I said, just kills this bishop. And as long as we maintain this structure properly, which there was no problem in us doing, we can remove this. We can go knight e5. The engine would have preferred me to trade the queens, I guess, or play a queen e2 and go after this. That does make sense as well. But I really like this idea of just physically blockading the push of the e-pawn and saying, look, you're never now coming out anywhere with this bishop. And obviously that lasted us quite a while. Takes here. They go here, knight c3, bit of a no-brainer. And then I really like my queen b1 here. It's the second best move ostensibly. I could have gone for queen e2 to then just take this, I guess. If you start like bringing a rook, then I mean, this is okay, but things might get a little complicated somehow. Why? What's going on here? And then there's tempo here, and we can do this, and I don't know. I'm clearly still winning. I really like my queen b1 idea, just going to hold this and saying, listen, knight a4 is going to follow, and not only is that going to be an attack on the queen, but also pressure on this b-pawn. The queen moves, bang, bang, c3, keep the initiative. If I'd have gone for rook b1, the engine likes it equally as well, but there is this I've got to worry about, then this, then the knights are centralized, and there's just half a concern that this is a strong piece and eventually you can push this and move. I don't know. I really liked the sort of cleanliness with which c3 forces the bishop to move. If they'd gone back here, I'd have just snapped this off and then grabbed this, and we've got our 2 connected passes. And if they go back here, of course, we can just grab this, take on b6. Beautiful with the tempo to take this. Now it's loose. Takes. You move your bishop. I could have gone for c4, you know, gone and grabbed this and made some slow progress, but I go for this immediate c7. I mean, yeah, there are no real notes here. You can't stay anywhere very pleasantly along the back rank. You could go rook to e8, but now I'm just going to roll forward effortlessly with these pawns, move the knight out of the way somewhere, you know, step back, bang, bang, 2 connected passes. I mean, when you got all these pawns rolling, clearly things are going to be going well, but instead they ventured a little far off, allowed me to promote. Now we're just up a clean piece, and at this point, I can just push. What is going to stop me from just pushing and pushing? Absolutely niche. If here I push again, how are you stopping this? I guess you can go knight here, actually, so fair enough. But I'm going to go c4, c5, c6. I don't know. Clearly, I'm going to be completely winning. I can even go check here and then knight here, and then just look to promote. And so my opponent then rather inexplicably took this and I guess just rage quit and resigned. I mean, I say rage quit just because they kind of hung the extra piece before resigning. That tends to imply just a real, I don't know, vitriol, an acrimony, perhaps. I don't know if that, I think that's the right word. You know, it's not just the calm resignation where you decide there's nothing left to be done. Anyway, day 3, what an excellent game for day 3. Thank you guys immensely for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, there are 40 plus bonus videos over on the Patreon for you guys to ravenously consume the second you decide to part ways with approximately 8 quid and support the channel. I upload a bonus video of some scintillating rapid gameplay on there every single Sunday since I believe the 2nd of March 2025, and that will happen for the rest of time. You also get your name included at the end of my videos on the esteemed patron score. You get discounts from things such as the Blumenfeld Bible that I sell on there. It's all around the greatest deal you could ever possibly find. So if you're remotely interested, I'd massively appreciate you checking it out. It would be a huge support for the channel. If not, however, I am immensely grateful that you just watch my videos on here anyway. Hopefully you enjoyed day 3, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 4. Hasta la vista. Merry Christmas. Good night. Which by me, goodbye. I've never said goodnight at the end of the video. What the hell?